Anime games are boring as fuck. And no, that's not me being hyperbolic, kind of just a blanket statement of anime games are boring. Or at the bare minimum, for a more detailed explanation, anime games get boring very, very fast. You would think that with how popular a lot of these animes are, you would think that the games would be equally as popular, but outside of the, Naruto Storm series and the Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi games, and with the initial release of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, you would think that anime games would be in a better spot than they are, but they're not. And then, to be honest with you, they're getting worse. And with HunterxHunter Nen Impact being the dog shit game that I predicted that it would be like months and months ago, we need to have a conversation about this.
Now a word from our sponsors.
Hi, before using Dubby, I was a father of 12. But now, after Dubby, I'm a deadbeat dad.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Let's see what we got in here for the Dubby. Big Dubby! We got the motherfucking... We got the motherfucking... Oh, shit. So the first flavor of Dubby, we have peach and beet.
You what?
Second flavor of Dubby, we got the dragon mayo. Next flavor we have laxative.
What?
Laxy grenade. Next flavor we have this is a zero sugar powder pack. And last but certainly not least, we have Pinesberry Splash. I'm Wasabi, and this has been your Dubby advertisement.
But before we get into that, I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year is over with, so that I can feed my addiction to triple dippers. So if you like the video, comment, share it with a bird, share it with a friend. I don't care, just share it with somebody. I really appreciate it, and it'll help me out a lot. Now let's get back to the video. So about a year ago, I made a video about the teaser that we got for HunterxHunter Nen Impact, and I knew then that the game was going to be fucking ass because it looked boring, and it didn't, obviously the game wasn't out yet, but it just didn't look like it was anywhere near finished. And the game just came out, and it looks the exact same. Thankfully, I didn't fucking buy this shit or get the deluxe edition, which is at a whopping $74. And apparently from what I've seen and heard, there's no redeeming qualities about this game. This is a game that's being sold at $60, but should be sold for about $30, maybe even $20, the most like $40. It looks just as bad as I predicted, and this is kind of my problem with anime games, is that like whenever we see a game for an anime that's being hyped, we always get excited because we're like, okay, the anime and the manga of this show is this fucking good and has this amount of budget to it, then obviously a video game, which is basically just promotion for the anime, it should be of the same quality and of the same, and have the same care put into making it, but they don't. All anime games are not created equal, especially if we get an anime game for an anime that's not as popular as, Dragon Ball and Naruto. Because it seems like Dragon Ball and Naruto are the only ones that can get decent games with, the Dragon Ball Budokai and Tenkaichi series and Sparking Zero and the Naruto Storm games, even though Connections kind of died like, a couple months in and nobody really cares about that game anymore. But you go from the highs of those games to what those games can give you to the lows of HunterxHunter Nen Impact and Jujutsu Kaisen Curse Class, which if you remember that shit, it was worse than Nen Impact. But it's weird because JJK is a very, very popular anime. I'm pretty sure it won a couple of awards at the Anime Awards, but yet we get a horrible, low budget, boring ass, no content having ass game in Curse Clash, and then for HunterxHunter we get Nen Impact. And it just seems like anime games outside of Naruto and DBZ, they just don't really know what to do, or just don't really have, or just the studios aren't really giving them the budget to make something that's actually like really, really good, because there's no reason why a game based off of Hunter x Hunter should be bad. It was a great anime, you have a lot of things to pull from, you can make a great game based off of Hunter x Hunter, but yet we get another fighting game that nobody really asked for. Which is kind of the next thing that I want to talk about, is every single anime game, if it's not a kind of semi-open world fighting game, it's just a regular fighting game. But again, there are highs to this genre. Dragon Ball FighterZ was a great fighting game, and it just recently, got on a decline a little bit. But even then, it's still a great fighting game. The Storm series, it kind of revolutionized, anime, arena fighters. But we always get some type of fighting game with an anime. And when we don't, we get some weird amalgamation that ends up being like Curse Clash. or we get a game that's pretty decent, it just doesn't get marketed and you never know of its existence until years and years later. And a lot of times I just feel like they don't know what type of game to make, when in reality it's really not that hard to make. Like, when are we ever gonna get, you know, an anime Souls like, or an anime, you know, action RPG that plays like, you know, Kingdom Hearts or something? Like, I always thought that it would be a cool idea that we get an anime, you know, action RPG that, you know, plays like Kingdom Hearts, where you get to, you know, create your own character. Let's say, for example, like this is the Demon Slayer game, plays like Kingdom Hearts. You get to create your own character and assign like, you know, different breathing techniques to your character. And you get to mix them and make like, you know, a poison wind type of character. And you just go through like different sections of the Demon Slayer world, you know, fight through mods and fight through bosses. You know, basically like Kingdom Hearts, but with the Demon Slayer characters and with the Demon Slayer, you know, like some type of amalgamation of a Demon Slayer story, something cool like that. Or again, like I said earlier, a anime Souls like or something, right? But we're stuck with fighters, we're stuck with arena fighters, tag fighters, or just a regular fighting game and nothing else really. And while I do know that One Piece had a couple of like semi-open world games, I remember when those came out and it just didn't look interesting. And I don't know what it is with anime games sometimes, but they all look like they came straight out of the GameCube. Avatar: The Last Airbender has this problem too. I know it's not an anime, but it has the same problem too. But no matter how many people love that show, it just seems like it can never get like good games. And the decent anime games that we do get, they fall off so fucking quickly because the hype around Sparking Zero was so big. You would think that Sparking Zero would have been the next big Dragon Ball game right next to Dragon Ball FighterZ. But Sparking Zero was hyped for about a month and then you just stopped hearing about it. And I was somebody who was watching a lot of Sparking Zero content and it was there for like, you know, a month or two, maybe even 3, but then it just fell off a cliff and you just stopped hearing about it. People got bored because it's essentially Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi, but with a new graphics engine and new Dragon Ball characters. It's not really nothing we haven't had for the past like 20 fucking years. Like, I'm not saying that Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is a bad game. It's just we've had this game before. It's basically just like a big DLC update of the old Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi games. Like, it's just that, a big DLC update with new graphics and you can play online. But then when you look at something like the Naruto Storm series, the Naruto Storm series never really changed. It's basically the same thing as, you know, a Dragon Ball Budokai or Budokai Tenkaichi, but it's an arena fighter. And every Storm and every entry in the Storm series was that an arena fighter. And it's the same thing as the Dragon Ball games, where you play through the story and with each generation you get more of the Naruto story. So it's not necessarily like those games were, you know, revolutionary either, but at the same time they were more revolutionary because gaming then just had different trends. But when Naruto Storm Connections came out, people kind of realized that, oh, this is just the same thing but with new characters, and it's not really anything new. It's not really anything exciting because we know we're just gonna play through the story that has just happened with Naruto again, just like with the old Dragon Ball Budokai games. Which, like, whenever you got them, you just played through whatever story arc just ended on TV. You just played through whatever story arc just ended on TV back in the day. And essentially what I'm saying is that, like, there's not anything to really, like, want to, you know, there's nothing really, like, you know, drawing you in to play these anime games outside of if you want to play a fighting game. And if you're not really a fighting game fan, then you're not really going to care for these games because 99 or like 98% of them are just that, fighting games. They're either, you know, like a tag fighter like Marvel vs. Capcom, or they're an arena fighter, and that's really it. And there really isn't anything else explored. Like, no other genres are really explored that much in anime games. Or when they try to expand these genres or explore these genres, when they try to explore these genres, the game doesn't have enough budget to make a decent game. Because I feel like something like JJK Curse Clash could have been a decent game if it would have had more of a budget or something, because like, it doesn't seem like with the amount of money that JJK makes just as an anime IP, that's the game that we get for that anime. It does not make sense. The same thing with Hunter x Hunter. There is so much money being made with all of these animes, but they get these lame ass, boring ass games, and I just don't understand why. I just feel like there needs to be like a revolution for anime games for them to be like, you know, really considered good games, because anime games, they kind of come and they kind of go, but they never really are good in the first place. Because I thought that, you know, we would, you know, move past and grow from JJK Curse Clash, but we really haven't. The Bleach game looks decent, but it's just another fighting game. There really isn't anything else added to it besides, unless you play fighting games, you don't really, or you just want to cosplay as the fucking characters from Bleach, there's not really nothing for you to do. And the same thing with the Demon Slayer fighting game. It's just Naruto Storm, but with Demon Slayer character. There's nothing really new to the game. It's just Naruto Storm with Demon Slayer characters in it. That's it. And I don't know what's it gonna take for, you know, anime games to really become like revolutionized and become better. I don't know if they're ever gonna become better, because it's also a thing of anime games having, you know, these great trailers on YouTube and everything, and then they just end up being a mobile game, and then you see another mobile game of Dragon Ball. There's like hundreds of them. And like every anime has stuff like that, and it just seems like if they're not giving us trash ass or anime games that just get boring really fucking quickly, you're getting, you know, Dragon Ball, you know, Dokkan Battle, which nobody really cares about anymore. Or we're getting shit like HunterxHunter Nen Impact, which is just a mess all around. The net code is bad. The combos that I've seen are fucking disgusting. People are already spamming shit. It seems like they've been playing this shit for months with like the rankings that they have. It's just a mess, and it needs to be fixed. Because at this point, I don't want any more anime games if they're not going to be good, if they're not going to be something fresh and something new outside of just another arena fighter or another tag fighter. We need new shit. We need new improvements to the anime game, just entirety. Not even just, you know, it's like certain anime genres. We need new and like better quality anime games in general, for anime games to be taken seriously.